to my stomach. I was like, oh my God. It was like before a race, like my heart's going crazy. And then I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it until they opened that big old door. Claudia Ramirez, empowering you to become the optimal leader of your life. Let's turn on the Mindset Mic. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 41 of Mindset Mic, where we're going to talk about 5 proven ways to build your confidence, do those big things that scare you starting today. I wanted to talk to you about this because I know that we talk so much about personal development. We talk about beliefs and goals and visualization and how to, handle setbacks and all the cool things. However, at the same time, many people say, God, that sounds so nice, but I don't have confidence. And like, it's in that moment. What do I do in that moment whenever I just don't feel like I have what it takes to make things happen? So this is going to be a good episode. I'm going to encourage you to have coffee or water. I have my coffee here with coconut milk, which I probably won't be drinking because I'm talking to you, but just in case, it makes me always feel better to have a drink in hand. Okay, so here's how it goes. I teach about confidence at the very end of my course, Run With It, your 60-day mindset roadmap. And one of the biggest things that I tell you is that it helps you with your confidence. And as you go along with it, you don't even realize that we're not talking about it because you're building it as you go. However, what happens when you need it, like I said before, in that moment, what do you do? And I'm going to give you 5 simple steps or 5 simple ways or things that you can just pull in a given moment and use them to your advantage. Together, they work miraculously. Miraculously, that is not a word that I want to be using. Together, they work wonderfully, but separately, they work as well. So, number 1. By the way, stay till number 3 at least, because 3 is going to be great. So, number 1 is to face your fears. You always hear me say, hashtag, let's see how far I can take this. I personally like challenging myself, and I'm going to invite yourself to do the same. What happens in the moment when you are, let's say you're running a race, whether you're a professional runner or you're a recreational runner, whatever it is in between, you're running a race and you feel scared to go to the finish line, or you feel scared to sign up, you don't feel ready to compete again, you don't feel ready to compete at all. What do? You face your fears and you do it scared. And you do it because you know that it's your mind telling you that something isn't for you because it doesn't seem familiar and normal in your day-to-day. This is when you always have to ask yourself, is my mind trying to protect me, or is my mind trying to keep me safe? Is it hurting me, or is it helping me? Is there going to be a lion chasing me and that is why my brain doesn't want me to do it? Or is it because it's a foreign thing that I'm not so familiar with, and because my mind is only created to keep me alive, not happy and fulfilled, but just alive, it's telling me, don't do it. There are going to be people out there who are real runners, people who are way faster than you. You might not be able to stick it all the way through. You're going to slow down towards the end. It's going to hurt. Don't do it. What happens? You face your fears. You face your fears and you go on the roller coaster. That one is actually for myself because I don't like roller coasters. You face your fear and you go speak to the person who you feel may be slightly intimidated to start a conversation with. You do it scared. And you think about hashtag, let's see how far I can take this. And as I've told you before, more often than not, you're going to realize that you could take it way further than you actually thought you could. And that is the beauty of it. Do it scared. Face your fears. Do it in a way that is going to help you feel empowered. And you're going to look back and say, oh, that wasn't so bad. I could do it again. And so you start recreating this in multiple areas of your life because, as you know, how you do anything, you do everything. Number 2, follow the 2 out of 3 rule. And this has absolutely not much to do with personal development as a whole, but it has a lot to do with how you feel about yourself. Confidence is the fact that sometimes we see people out there doing something that we think is cool, or that we think is brave, or that we think it's courageous, that we don't think we could do. And we think there's some abnormal unicorn creatures that can do it and not us. But what happens is that you can do it. And sometimes you just kind of have to amp yourself up a little bit and give yourself the right opportunity to feel the same. So the 2 out of 3 rule, it pertains to your appearance. I understand that appearances aren't everything. And we live in a world where even the wealthiest people in the world wear t-shirts and jeans. However, many times in this modern society, most people don't put an effort to get ready because you live in a city that, nothing really goes down there, because you work from home, because you're an athlete and so you're always in workout clothes, because, you're not going to see anybody, because of whatever reason. But I'm going to encourage you to get 2 out of 3 things ready. Think about your hair, your face, and your clothing. For me, as a woman who likes to do her makeup and her hair and get dressed, more often than not, my hair is always done. And I don't do it like on purpose. It's usually always done. And my hair's like pretty good with me. So whether it's curly or not, it's pretty taken care of. And that means that if I don't want to go like all out, I can just do like a really nice outfit or a polished outfit or my face. So on those days when I'm going to wear workout clothes, and maybe they're not like my nice Lululemon clothes, I make sure that my hair's done and my face is kind of put together. Not that it wouldn't be otherwise, but at least like I look moisturized, I look glowing, and I go out there. And I feel a little more confident, especially whenever I'm recording on camera all the time. Sometimes my hair's not done. What do? I make sure I'm wearing a nice outfit and my face feels fine. Okay? And so what happens is that 2 out of 3, you feel more polished. You feel like it gives you a little oomph, a little something. And therefore, whenever you have to go do, whether it's speaking to a person, whether it's filming on camera, whether it's, going on the starting line, whatever the case may be, that you need a little bit of confidence, you feel like you're taken care of. If you want to do all three, absolutely. I mostly do, a combination. But just think about that. Many times people have just fallen into everybody knows me. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to see anyone. Oh, it's just this, it's just that. And we don't take care of ourselves. And so then what we see in the mirror makes us feel poorly, because then we're comparing it to everybody else who we're seeing on social media. And what happens is that we fall into this comparison game, and it makes us feel like we're not adequate. And so then because we're not adequate, we're not confident. When in reality, it was just about showing up as your best self every single day. And the moment that you failed to do that, perhaps you started believing that you weren't good enough, but it's not even that. Okay, so that is something that I am going to recommend that you do. Step number 3, or actually point number 3, would be to work on your personal development and invest in your personal development. Think about, what do I need to do to get to where I want to go? I recently had somebody who reached out to me and said, Claudia, I need help because I'm training for certain things in sports, and I need my mindset to be taken care of. And I was completely wowed and very proud of this person because A, it takes courage to admit it. I've been through the process as well. And B, once you work on it, you're going to be closer to getting to your end goal. Work on your personal development through books, through podcasting, through audiobooks, of course, through coaching, through courses. You don't have to start with a $4,000 coaching program. You could start making a vision board. You already know I have a vision board course available for you, and you can make it. And you know what? If you're like, well, what is a vision board going to do? I see everybody do it. You know that my vision boards are vision boards on steroids and unlike anything that you've ever seen. I'm going to actually give you coaching in there coaching that is going to help you get clear on your goals, coaching that is going to help you visualize, create a vision board in a very unique way that is going to be personal to you, so fun to make, and it's going to feel even better whenever you finish, and then creating the right action steps to move forward. Wow, all of a sudden, this is going to get you excited for those next steps in your life. And it all starts with investing in yourself. You can invest in yourself in so many ways. You can start working out. You can go get a gym membership, or you can cancel your gym membership and work out outdoors. Whatever it is that you need, you figure that out and you start bringing it into fruition. What happens is that the moment that you start taking yourself seriously and you see yourself as somebody who is worthy of being invested in, you're going to have more confidence whenever you approach experiences and people in your life. It's a beautiful feeling going into a room and feeling seen because of who you are. Not because of what you have or what you're wearing, which I know goes with point number 2, but because of who you are. Because you radiate confidence, because you radiate wisdom, expertise, skill set, knowledge, openness. And it all starts by working on yourself. I've met so many people with the potential that is just bigger than the sun, but because they don't work on themselves, that one small thing that happens in life tears them down. It's okay to feel icky about yourself sometimes. Not icky, but like down with yourself sometimes. It's not okay to stay there. And the people who stay there are the people who do not work on themselves. The people who aren't willing to learn and face those difficult conversations that they don't want to have. Be the person who makes a change. Do it not only for yourself, but for generations and the people who are going to be inspired by you because you're working on yourself. It's a really, really, really cool thing. Next, use body language to connect with others around you, to transmit a message, and be the first person who makes the move. You go into a room and it's crowded. For me, I'm an introverted person. That's not a secret. Yes, give me a microphone, give me a good conversation over coffee, give me a good walk and a run, I'll be talking away. Put me in a room with people who I don't know, I used to get a little nervous. So what happens? You want to use body language. Be the first person to say hello. Know that the people in that room, if they look like they have a certain face, it's not that they don't like you. It's the fact that they feel just as anxious or scared or nervous or intimidated as anybody else in that room. And whenever you approach them, you are breaking that wall, which makes you seem like the confident person. We're not manipulating people here, but we're just projecting something about ourselves. And then once that happens and you have a wonderful conversation, you realize like, hey, I'm actually more confident than I thought I was. Take up space. Whenever I say hi to people, I don't mean to, I'm kind of just like that. But whenever I say hi to people, if you see me on YouTube, my videos, I go, hello, hello, hello. And my arms are up here like a field goal on a football stadium. They're up here, 90-degree angle. I take up space. I didn't go, hi. No, I go, hi. I make myself big because I know I'm 5'1" and 95 pounds. So I make myself big to take up space so that you can see me. I'm right here. If I'm walking past someone and I want to say hello, if I'm not stopping, I don't stop and I stretch my arm hello, kind of like a little baby who's saying hi with their little arm, but mine is a little longer. And what happens is that I am closer to them. I am not afraid for my body to be directing towards yours. What does that do? That person is open. That person is confident. That person is trying to reach me and say hello. Use your eyes. Oh, Claudia, I just struggle with eye contact. I have vertigo and I struggle with light and focusing on one thing. I get really dizzy. And so a lot of times in conversation, I'll be looking around and it's just because I'm finding my way to like not feel so dizzy or lightheaded. But I make eye contact. Make eye contact. One of the things that I love doing with people. And I know if somebody hears me, they're going to be like, oh, I see what she was doing then. I'll look at you. I'll make eye contact and I'll be just talking and talk. I mean, you'll be talking and I'll just be nodding and listening and listening. And the moment that you look away, I feel comfortable to look away now. But let the other person look away first. Claudia, that's manipulation. It's called building rapport. It's called connecting with the person. Be the person who's genuinely interested in a conversation and look into a person's eyes. Connect with them. Whenever I speak to you, I am speaking straight at the camera. And yes, I know sometimes in conversation I look away or whatever, but I look straight at the camera. Why? Because I'm seeing you on the other side. I don't see a lens. I genuinely am seeing you on the other side. And it's the same thing in conversation. And I notice whenever I leave conversation sometimes, and I know that I wasn't looking at them, I know that I wasn't comfortable in that situation at all. And sometimes that's fair. But I'm going to encourage you to make the first move, say hello first, take up space whenever you sit. I mean, I'm not going to say like be slouchy, but take up space whenever you sit, whenever you stretch your hands. Be the person who reaches out, be the person who looks at them, and just play around with the rapport. There's just I talk so much about this in Run With It, your 60-day mindset roadmap. I mean, how can we build better relationships? How can we feel more confident? How can we just transmit that we believe that we can and are? So that's another way to do it. And lastly, like I said before, do it scared. Be so thrilled by the fact that you're going to be nervous on the other side. Be so thrilled by the fact that it's not going to come easy to you, but you're going to overcome it. Get used to that feeling, and not in a way that it makes you sick. Okay, like we're not trying to make ourselves sick here, because I've done that before. Like I love to push myself off every cliff, and I'm just like, ugh. Like for example, here the subway, or being in New York, and just new people and new place, and having to find my way through this, and sending emails, and oh my God, I got the response, and don't worry about it. Deal with the feeling and the emotion, with the consequences of whatever challenging thing you want to do whenever it comes up. It's like skydiving. You know it's cool. You know it's cool. Some people will skydive in like a heartbeat. Let's do it. And some people will be like, oh my gosh, I could never. Why not? Why not? You go. You register. Deal with the fear whenever you're there. Do it scared. Don't worry about what future you is going to feel. Don't worry. They'll thank you later. Make the decision now. And you're going to see how it's so cool. Like this is what happened to me when I went skydiving. I booked my flight to Dubai. The next thing I did before even booking the hotel is I booked Skydive Dubai. And the day of, I felt totally fine. The day of, I couldn't even eat breakfast. I was so sick to my stomach. I was like, oh my God. It was like before a race. Like my heart's going crazy. And then I didn't think about it. Until they opened that big old door and I wasn't tied to anything or anyone. And they were like, you want to look down? You want to stick your legs out? And I was like, no. And then I see this guy jump, and he was the first one. I was going to be the second one. And I seriously blinked and he was gone. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm next. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what was I thinking when I was in my classroom? Because back then I was a teacher. And I was just booking this whole experience. And I told the guy, do we have to go? And he said, yes. And then he was like, why are you bananaing already? Because they tell you to banana so that you can, go with the wind, not, hurt yourself. And I said, I don't want to feel my feet leave the platform, like the plane. And so he's like, all right. So, he dives and, he jumps. And so I'm already in banana position. And it's just the funniest thing, like hearing it again. But that's the way of dealing with it in the moment. And before I was just like the brave girl paying an arm and a leg for Skydive Dubai, and it's just so cool because I knew I was going to be terrified. But was I? Not really. And that's the thing. You end up, it connects back to point one, which is like let's see how far I can take this. Yeah, you're going to be scared, and then you get there, you go, it wasn't even that big of a deal to begin with. So that is what I have for you today. I hope that one of these has helped you, whether it's hashtag let's see how far I can take this, doing it scared, working on your personal development, getting yourself ready for success, feeling like you're the person who's confident in the room. Sometimes, we always just say, if you look good, you run good. And so we used to get all dolled up before a race because it made us feel better. Now I get it. It's a psychological thing there. It's a mindset thing there. It plays with how we feel about ourselves and how we project ourselves. So do that. Play around with it. And the most important one, I think, would be personal development and also the way that you communicate with others with your body language, and making the first move and saying hello first and all that stuff. So I hope that it has been helpful. I'm so excited. I am looking for a place to film the podcast that is more podcasty and studio-y and not where I am right now, because as you know, I love professional things and I like doing things the best that I can. So I'm working on that. And what else am I working on? Just really, really cool things coming together. What else? Oh, yes. I am in the process of raising the prices of my courses and services. So for my one-on-one coaching and my courses, see it, create it, and run with it, your 60-day mindset roadmap. So if you want to join the vision board course at 147, I would do it now before it goes up. And if you want to work with me, I am taking 3 more people at the current price, and then it's going to go up as well, significantly. So I would recommend that you click the link down below. Go check that out if you're interested. When in doubt, I would start with the vision board course, and then you can always move up to the next one. But if you want to go all in, one-on-one would be absolutely wonderful. Or run with it, your 60-day mindset roadmap. It depends on what kind of time you're on. If you want to work on your own pace and still get great coaching, my 9-week course, Run With It, is for you. If you want to have personalized coaching and everything that I offer in the other places from the get-go, then one-on-one coaching is for you. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful. Just know that I believe in you. You have a crazy person cheering you on from New York City. As always, keeping the optimal leader of your life. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.